83 will start second. Row number 2, it's the 3 of Brian McCann. He was only 8 thousandths shy. Drew Blaze to the outside of McCann. He'll start 4th. Fifth starter is Guy Baxter in the 4. Michael Tucker, the number 39, will start.
Top 3 were separated by
Obliger, the number
100.
16. Starting in the 8th spot, it's the 80 of Drew Prell. Jesse Sperling, the number 62, will start 9th. Matt Sisler, the number 93, will start 10th.
Really tight.
11th starter, it's the 15 of Vincent Short, making a return to the Noble Racing Series. Jesse Redding will start 12th. Shane Haas rolls for the 13th spot with the 9 of Alfie Charon starting in 14th. Mike Fahey, the number 19, will start in the 15th spot. Another return driver to the Noble Racing Series. And newcomer Crystal Villano, that is, in the 7. She'll start 16th. Joe Tucker, the number 13, starts 17th. Doug Wysocki, the 34, 18th. 19th goes to Ken Couch. And last but not least, certainly in our hearts from Numb Thumbs Racing, it's the 2 of Chris Klein. So starting grid here from Homestead, Miami Speedway.
Pretty sure he said
roll here momentarily. 1 lap of caution behind the pace car, and we'll see the green flag when they get back to start-finish. Already some stream chatters, of course. Zach Millett calling me a rascal for not letting anybody know what the plan was. Honest to goodness, it wasn't going to happen tonight. I walked in the other room, looked at the screen, and saw that we had almost 20 cars in this session. It looked like we were only going to have 13 to 15. I said, you know what? It won't be perfect. Don't have anywhere near the prep that I would normally do, but we'll make do with what we've got. We'll try to go live with this one, and that's what we're doing here. Drew Prell, we got Jesse Redding. Let's see.
Championship race.
Of course, Jesse Sperling, what a guy. Doug Wysocki, thanks for the great broadcast.
Noble Season 2.
Thanks for being here, guys. Thanks for racing. Thanks for attending and viewing and watching these races here each and every week. It's been a blast. Just unfortunate we weren't able to cover all of the events this season with car counts being down and what they were, but nevertheless, we'll try to boost those numbers up for the next seasons. Big things in store for Noble Racing here in the future. We're going to be adding on an additional oval series, trying to get going here with another road course series coming up at some point in 2024. I don't have any ideas on that. We could, in essence, actually be covering 3 different Noble Racing Series leagues next year. We're actually within the end of 2024, but remains to be seen. More details to follow. Chastity Tucker in the chat, cheering on the Tucker boys. We got Tay Rose doing the same. Pace car makes the hard left down pit road. We wait for Barney the flagman to wave the green, and we are racing in the final race of the season here at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Sorry about that, Jesse. I didn't see inside.
Millen out to the early lead, puts about 3.5 tenths on Brandon Mefford in the second position. Brian McCann all over him like a cheap suit for that second spot. Half a car length back, runs the 3 off McCann. Back to start finish. Millett leads the first lap of this race. Guy Baxter running in the 4th position. Jai also a late add this season. Only ran a handful of races here with Noble, but came in here, I believe, on the coattails, I guess, of Matt Sisler here. They run in the separate league together, but trying to help us fill these fields. Jai has come in and been a great addition to this league. Of course, he does run there in the top 4.
Check it up.
Sharon and the Holler Boys Racing TV number 9 gets alongside Jesse Redding. The 21 completes that pass. In behind him, he leaves Jesse Sperling. Jesse Redding, Mike Fahey in his free. Billett still out front, a half-second advantage over Brandon Mefford. Oh, trouble! Michael Tucker gets run over in the back. I don't know what happened there. We stay green. Connection issues, it looks like, maybe for the 16 of Matt Oplucker. And I don't have a way to go back and look at it, but I really need to, so we're going to rewind this and take a peek to see exactly what.
I did not practice clutching.
Feeling has something to do with a connection issue. No, wasn't really a connection issue. Let's watch it here again.
Good day, Mike. You paid.
80, Drew Prowl gets in the wall. Slows up Tucker. She changes lanes there. The 16 drives up in the back. It's kind of a chain reaction incident, but everybody gets away cleanly or somewhat cleanly. Damage certainly on all these vehicles involved, but we stay under the green flag. Michael Tucker has slipped back to the 9th spot. Doesn't look like there's too much damage on that machine, considering he did drive into the back of one car and then get run over from behind from another. 3 of these cars involved in that brief incident. All 3 actually look pretty clean considering. Drew Blaze running in the 5th position in his familiar number 1. Tucker still hanging in that 9th position, just ahead of the 15 of Vincent Short. And Jesse Sperling in the number 62. Sperling sporting a Black Rifle Coffee Company number 62. Good looking paint scheme on that machine. Mike Fahey in the number 19 works along the inside of the 23 of Shane Haas. Haas up top, that red, white, and black machine slips way up the racetrack, almost too high up the racetrack. Don't know if that was the plan, but Shane having some trouble getting out of the corner. Real loose on exit, opens the door for Ken Couch as well. Haas loses 2 positions through turns 1 and 2. Top 3 unchanged here. Presently, Zach Billett still out in front. Brandon Mefford, Brian McCann in that order. Also where they started here tonight. Sounds like Millett might be saving fuel already. Let's ride on board and listen to the 315 and see if that truly is the case.
The leader just did a 33.25.
There it is. Puts the clutch in, lets that thing roll, coast just a bit through the corner. Field starting to spread out here just a bit. I think everybody's between the middle of 1 and 2 and the middle of 3 and 4. Mefford slips up the racetrack just a bit, opens the door slightly for Brian McCann, but McCann just not close enough to do anything with it at this point. Right on board with the 3s. He tries to reel in the 83. That's Brandon Mefford there in the second spot.
Got one outside.
And as we said, Zach
Still
Miller,
there.
Brian McCann, Brandon Mefford, those are our top 3 drivers in the point standings. And again,
All
coming
clear,
into
all clear.
tonight, I believe
Outside.
they are the only 3
Still there.
mathematically eligible to win. I think Matt Sisler, though,
Stay low.
also
There's
a
car on the
contender
high
there.
side.
For running
Clear
back
high,
into
clear
the
high. Got one outside.
6th position here at
All
the
clear,
moment.
all clear.
I think
Outside.
it really is just going to come down to who finishes in front of
Stay
who
low,
as
there's a car
McCann
on the
drives
high
it
side.
deep into 3, almost making contact
Stay
with the
low.
83 of Mefford. Position certainly
Stay low. Next car
up
is
for
clear.
grabs here in contention as we watch these two do battle here. McCann to the inside, down into turn number 1.
All
Mefford
clear,
up the
all
racetrack.
clear.
He's going to try and defend by carrying that momentum, using that upper line, that Larson line they call it. Out of turn number 2, carries a lot more speed than the 3, but Brian had a good exit too, even though he's running a little bit lower on the racetrack, though McCann's still not able to get clear.
You're in second.
Still a side-by-side battle between Brian McCann and Brandon Mefford. It's the BM boys here in the 2nd and 3rd position. Finally, Brian McCann gets clear, moved the 3 up into P2. See if he's got anything for Millet. Can reel in the 315. Maybe put Dale and John through this battle, though. They have cut into that advantage that Millet has. I don't know if that's a factor of Zach trying to save more fuel, take care of the tires, or if just they're managing to run a faster pace at this point. Picking on Matt Sisler. 93, the only Kia in the championship 4. It's only a Kia body, folks. It's still a Trod V8, so it's definitely a Chevrolet. Joe Tucker a little slow on the apron there. Don't know if he just made a pit stop or had another issue. It does show that he was in pit lane for a brief amount of time, only about 4.4 seconds into pit pause. Tucker's trying to throw a crazy, wacky strategy here to get off cycle with everybody else. We'll see if that pays off. We've got plenty of racing to go before that's going to come to fruition. Those of you that did finally get in here and watch this race tonight, if you're watching it live, share this with as many people as you can here, especially those that may not have realized that we were going to be able to cover this tonight. I know it was kind of a last-minute thing. We do appreciate the fact that, well, following the channel usually gives you guys notifications that we're going to go live. So that certainly helped you folks, but it may not help everybody. So you can share this as best as you can on social medias, private messages, texts, whatever you got to do. Let's get some more eyeballs here because this one could shape up into a pretty good finale. Battle for the top 3. This continues. Cream rises to the top here, and you see him. Zach Millett, Brian McCann, Brandon Mefford, 1, 2, 3, all less than a car length apart from each other. Now, we did not see any pre-race announcements here tonight, so we're not 100% sure when the stage actually is.
Still there? Hold your line.
I would expect
All
to see
clear.
one here at some point, somewhat soon. I know at Kansas, we had a 120 lap race just like tonight. The stage was at lap 40, so I'm going to kind of make the assumption that we may be doing the same here. I don't know if that's the case. If the caution comes out in and around that lap 40 mark and we can't figure out why, I'm going to say that's probably why. Brian McCann all over the back bumper of Zach Millett here off turn 4, across start finish, a few feet separating the 315 and the 3. McCann does seem to have some pace at the present. McCann about a half tenth quicker than Millett that last lap.
It's hard to race and save fuel.
Roughing up Millett just a bit, trying to let him know that he's there. Nice and deep into one. I gotta wonder if McCann is trying to push Millett to burn a little bit more fuel here. McCann's very smart when it comes to strategy. He knows that fuel could be a concern. Checking with timing and scoring again here, Chris Klein did not take the green flag. Klein not able to start here this evening.
Holy crap, you can't do that.
Little lift from Millett allows McCann to close the gap just a bit. Millett lift again into turns 3 and 4. That rear end of that race car is stepping out, twitching just a bit on the 315. Might be battling some early handling issues. Track temperature coming into tonight, 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Not very warm by any stretch, though. This place does tend to get a little bit slick in the day and does chew up some tires. But even in the night with partly cloudy skies, as the sun sets here in South Beach, track cooling off, but handling still an issue, it seems, for some of these drivers. Brian McCann eases off the challenge to Zach Millett. Don't know if that was testing the fences for Brian McCann, but got right to the back bumper. Might have even pushed Millett a bit on corner exit. It's just saving that one in the memory banks for later on, because we were able to see that Millett did get loose. I don't know for sure if there was contact there or that was simply an aerodynamic issue. A lot of times you'll see that a driver will tuck up behind the leading driver, get real close to the bumper without making contact, and it'll take some of the air off the rear spoiler, which in turn takes away the downforce, which results in a loose race car. Millett handled it well, but like I say, if it happened later with more worn tires, maybe coming to the closing laps of this race, something to keep in mind for later on. Ty Baxter running back in the 4th position. And Baxter showing a number 17. He should be in a number 4. So in case you're confused on it, this is an old Matt Kenseth scheme.
The leader just did a 34.3.
Baxter listed as the number 4 car in the timing tower, running in the 4th position. Drew Blaze, the LSR Gaming X Ford, runs in the 5th spot. Check out Matt Sisler once again, Championship 4 contender, back in the 8th position. Started 10th here today. Sisler just looking for a solid run.
I ain't got enough gas to pass him. That's the problem. We're having to fuel conserve. I'm faster than he is. He might be conserving too, so it's hard to tell. I think my tires are better than his.
Back out front, it's still Millett and Brian McCann. Brian, I don't know if maybe he just backed off a bit to cool the tires down. Give it another go as he's right there on the back bumper of Millett again off turn number 4. I'm wondering if he's just trying to test that again to see if he can loosen up Millett without getting into him.
Brandon gonna have enough gas?
Watch again, let's see if Brian can close in on the 315 and try this another time. Millett led every lap to this point. It started from pole position.
Millett might be getting worried about gas. Like I said, I ain't got enough gas to pass him. Unless he slows up big time.
Bit of a lane change for Brandon Mefford. Still runs in that 3rd position, but he's slipped up the racetrack in about the middle groove here, seeing if that's going to help him a bit more. It has helped him maintain the gap between himself and Brian McCann, maybe even inch a little bit closer to these two. Running that top side carries a lot more momentum, but you are turning for a longer period of time. Why is that significant? Well, that puts a little bit more stress, specifically on that right front tire. You're going to get it a little hotter because it's in friction mode a little more frequently, a little bit longer than you would be if you were on the bottom. However, the trade-off is running down in that low lane, though it is a shorter amount of turning. It is a steeper angle. That turning radius is a little bit sharper on the bottom side of the racetrack. So you've got options here at Homestead, of course, top, bottom, middle, whatever you want. The place is plenty wide. But you kind of got to make your decisions based on what your car is doing, what the tires are showing as far as temperature and as far as wear. It's going to be a big indication as to what lane is going to be best for you, regardless of pace. And keep in mind, tonight, 90% fuel load, the capacity for these race cars, and they only have 2 sets of tires over the wall, which, considering the distance on this race, they should be plenty good to go to the end. Not have to worry too much about tires. With that, Zach Millett under fire once again. Brian McCann to the inside for the top spot here. Battle for the race lead off turn number 2. Millett loose off exit. Just like that, Brian McCann goes to the inside, down the backstretch, and clears Millett into 3. Millett slips up the racetrack. He's going to lose the second.
They may not have enough gas. They may have just figured that out. I think I got enough.
A little bit earlier than he had planned, or if he's trying to save at this point. But now as we run, top driver on the racetrack is the top driver in the championship now. That's Brian McCann. As Mefford gets up the racetrack, he might have got a piece of the wall. Slowed his momentum considerably. This is going to put Millett back alongside the 83. Still watching the battle here in the top 3. McCann by himself, but for 2nd and 3rd, it's Millett and Mefford battling it out. Cross start finish line. Millett has it for the time being. Lap 38 goes up on the board, expecting the stage to end here at the end of lap 40. Again, that is not confirmed. Don't have anything to reference on that. Didn't do a whole lot of prep tonight because, well, like I said earlier on, we didn't plan on being live tonight. So we're going to give it our best. Millett back to the inside in 3. I think he's finally clearing Mefford. Mefford's going to try and fight back on the outside. Gets to the outside of Millett off of turn 4. Bit of a wiggle from Mefford. All this is doing at this point, it's letting Brian McCann get away. Now remember, McCann and Mefford, they both come to us out of the IROC Challenge Series. These guys have raced with one another for a very long time. They know each other. I'm sure they're communicating throughout the course of this race. Wouldn't say that they're teammates necessarily. That's usually going to be Doug Wysocki in that instance, but Coming out of one league, you kind of want to come over to another and compete, contend. You got to wonder if Mefford there is battling with Millett just to force the issue, to force these guys to build a gap between themselves and Brian McCann. What I find interesting, though, Brandon Mefford being a Championship 4 contender tonight, this could hurt him as well. These guys are just fighting for the position just because. We're on lap 40. We'll see if this can.
That was early. I guess somebody wrecked.
3 and 4 with the race lead.
You have about 1 lap of fuel left.
We got thrown early, and they're way back there. Brandon, where did Brandon go? He's back in sixth. He had a pit. Brandon was out of fuel.
Catch the A car.
And there it is. Caution is finally out to end.
So that's what was happening to Zach. They started losing fuel.
Don't forget to pit this lap for more fuel. Pit road is now open.
Ryan McCann, your stage winner.
Ooh.
Interestingly, Drew Prowl has hit pit lane. He's got some damage on the left rear still from maybe that earlier incident. He's going to put right sides on. Pit lane is closed technically, so he's going to have to pay the piper for this one. Brandon Mefford comes down pit road a little bit early as well. He may take a penalty for this also.
Pit boxing 10.
Interestingly, McCann stays out on the racetrack. I'm wondering if the fuel was that tight.
3,
Some of these guys
2,
had no choice but to
1.
come down a little bit early
Right
to
here.
pit. You remember Millett was saving fuel almost right off the bat. You got to think Brian McCann may have been doing the same. Again, for those of you who don't know, IROC Challenge Series.
Those guys went out early.
For a Cup car
That's
their
it, go.
previous season, and their fuel was calculated in such a way that they had to save
I sped.
every single
Did
lap.
I speed? I think I
Catch
sped.
the 19 car.
Oh, no, don't give it to me. I'm looking good so far.
Brian McCann, your race leader.
Oof.
Come down
83
pit lane.
past
You won the stage.
Ooh.
Bill
I saw 54, 55 when I crossed that line.
and others. Brian and Steve with HBR TV. You got a copy?
Hey, I do. How's it going?
Brian, I know it's a surprise that we're here, but we figured we'd pull you up here after winning the stage. I know this one's kind of heads up, deciding a champion here tonight. You reeled Zach Millett in there late and put the moves on and very quickly disposed of him, taking that top spot in the stage win. Tell us about that pass, how you set it up. You've been saving a bit here, sandbagging a little bit?
You know, the usual, a little bit of just mix everything in. You know, I can't give it all away, but yeah, I think my strategy's working out pretty good.
Heard some guys saving fuel early on in this first stage. Did you have to save in order to make it all the way to the end?
Oh, yeah, we only get about 37 laps.
But we figured we'd pull you up here. All right, Brian, we'll wish you the best of luck the rest of the way, man. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
You reeled Zach Millett in there late and put the moves on and very quickly disposed of him, taking that top spot in the stage win. Tell us about that pass, how you set it up. You've been saving a bit here, sandbagging a little bit?
You know, the usual, a little bit of just mix everything in. You know, I can't give it all away, but yeah, I think my strategy's working out pretty good.
Heard some guys saving fuel early on in this first stage.
Oh, that's so weird.
Saved in order to make it all the way to the end.
Oh, yeah, he's on such a big delay.
All right, Brian, we'll wish you the best of luck the rest of the way, man. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you.
Brian McCann, your stage winner. He's going to have the top spot as we get back to the green flag here momentarily. Zach Millett second. Jai Baxter will restart third. Drew Blaze fourth and Jesse Sperling fifth. So everybody within the top 10, 11, all pitted during this caution. Elfie Charon, Matt Opliger, he's in the pits as well. That's 12th and 13th.
All right, man, line up on the inside row.
44 laps in, so Brian McCann confirming to us whether it's accurate or not. I'm sure he knows the real number, but as he even said, he's not going to give away all of his secrets, going to keep as much as he can close to the vest. He said, though, 37 laps is about all we had to make it to the end of that first stage, which is interesting. typically we can make it to that stage no problem. It's after the fact that there's going to be a green flag pit stop at least.
So we're going to be able to go 36. Like, we'll have to save here.
Regardless of fuel save.
I'll only be able to run 36, but I need to go 37.
Drew, mic up so he can get you.
Thank you, Jesse.
Get ready.
So you see the pace car lights are out, so we're on the one to go here. Field
Pace
working the
cars
back
in.
straightaway. It'll be green the next time by.
Green flag, green flag.
Again, it'll be McCann, Millett, Baxter, Blaze, and Sperling, your top five. Then Matt Sisler, Vincent Short, Ted Couch, Shane Haas, Brandon Duffy, your top 10. His car is in, party with the green in hand, and it waves, and we're back racing from Homestead. McCann still leads over Zach Millett, just about 4/10 the advantage for the three. That's about 5 car lengths if you're looking at here on your screen. Third place is Jai Baxter in the number 4. It's going to show the 17 on the door. It's just a paint issue. Drew Blaze back in the 4th position, and 5th is Matt Sisler looking for more. Blaze up the racetrack just a bit. Sisler taking a chance to look to the inside, but not enough of a run on exit to do anything with it. Takes a beat back to the bottom of the racetrack. Has the run down to turn number 1, drives it way to the bottom. Sisler gets clear, takes the 4th position from Drew Blaze. Championship 4 contenders, it's Brian McCann with a race lead. Zach Millett running 2nd. Sisler now up into the 4th position. And now Brandon Mefford just now hopping into that 5th spot. And Mefford was about 9th or 10th, just a couple of laps to go. He's very quickly working his way through this field. Wants to be a part of that top 5 battle once again. Millett cutting into that deficit. Now it's about 2/10 as they cross start finish. 50 laps up on the board. Just under 10 laps to halfway. We got Chris Elliott in the chat cheering on HBR. Chris, thanks for checking in, man. A car length between McCann and Millett. Turning into a deja vu scenario for Zach Millett. Had to deal with Brian McCann a lot last season. It was a contender in the championship points. McCann ended up leaving the series as champion. Millett, I think, finished in the 3rd position in the points last year. Trying to change all that. I know he doesn't want that 2nd place points. I know it's better than last season. He wants that title. Billet still right to the back bumper, about a car length off the back bumper of McCann into turn number 3. Got 53 laps complete, about to be 54 to start going up on the board. I don't know if Millet's got enough for McCann here. He can hang with Brian. Brian was able to reel him in considerably the end of that first run. And you'd say could be coming into play here, maybe taking care of the tires. They've already burned one of their 2 sets. Meanwhile, Matt Sisler now up into the 3rd spot. Jai Baxter under pressure from Brandon Mefford. Mefford trying to take that 4th position away. That'll put our top 4 championship 4 within the top 4 on the racetrack as Mefford does get clear, and there it is. It's Brian McCann, Zach Millet, Matt Sisler, and Brandon Mefford, your championship 4, all running 1, 2, 3, and 4 here at Homestead Miami Speedway.
1, 2, 3, and 4.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out. Line up single file. Pit road is closed. Catch the pace car.
I don't think this changes anything.
Crystal Bolano in the number 7. She's out of this one early. She'll be credited with a 19th finishing position.
Mike,
Interestingly enough, Alfie Charon seems to be out of this one as well.
Yeah.
He's still listed as being in pit lane. I'm not sure the scenario there. Joe Tucker,
And then I saw you coming at me.
he's still on the racetrack in 17th, so 12 laps down.
I'm glad our views about matched.
Oh, trouble. The 19 Mike Fahey in the fence.
They
As
got it on the
Tucker just
broadcast,
barely
Kelly.
gets by. Fahey facing
I don't think this changes
on
anything.
the racetrack, puts us under our second caution of the night.
Again.
Absolutely.
Look what happened here with Mike Fahey just a moment ago off of turn number 2. Fahey, the number 19, riding in behind Ken Couch. Starting to lose the rear end already here in behind the 08. I can't imagine it was aero related because usually you get tight in that situation, but nevertheless, he just comes around, slips up the racetrack.
Car by. He had the position when the yellow flag came out.
Single car incident, but barely. Let's look at it from Joe Tucker's perspective, how it looked on board his machine.
I'm not going to kill ignition. It's quite heavy on the rear tires there when it kicks back in. I could hit the starter.
So Brandon Mefford thought about going to pit road, and we got some takers though still. Drew Blaze, Vincent Short, Shane Haas, and others. It's about a land rush down here in pit lane. It's Drew Blaze, Short, Haas, Sperling, Tucker, Couch, Wysocki, Redding, and Fahey, of course, involved in that caution. Blaze just taking fuel, and maybe the rest of the up and down pit road. Fuel only stop for a lot of these drivers. This race playing out to
This is a button workout.
Caution fast by any means. So this could be a very smart strategy play for these drivers. They're just here trying to win this race. A lot of these guys not even eligible for a championship.
Pit road is closed.
In fact, the majority of them out here just looking for a trophy tonight. Brian McCann, Zach Millet, Matt Sisler, and Brandon Mefford, your championship 4. They all stayed out of the racetrack. Once pit lane opened up, so did Jai Baxter, so did Ben Oppenheimer. First driver out with the pit stop, that's Drew Blaze. He's going to restart in the 7th position. Again, though, fuel only for these drivers. No tire advantage to be seen. Mike Fahey back in action. Car looks pretty good.
Seemed like I was starting to take off from Millet there a little bit.
On that machine, take it back out and look pretty clean. So should be good to go to the end as long as he stays out of trouble.
My tire wear on the last pit stop was perfect. So that's probably a contributing factor. I'm just glad I didn't get that
All right,
speeding
man, we're
ticket.
going green.
Those
next
of you
time
watching
by.
right now,
All right, man,
don't
line
forget
up on the
when I
inside
saw
row.
54, 55 coming out, I knew I was
TV
done.
with the IROC Challenge.
It had to have been close.
Playing the late model stock. First road course of the season going to be the Charlotte Roval.
I was trying to beat him, but I thought I was closer to that line, and I punched it.
In the east, here at HBR TV, we'll have the
When the
link.
black box disappeared, I looked down, I was going
between now and
54,
tomorrow.
I think.
Find it HBRTV1.com. Click the live tab, and that should take you right to the broadcast.
We're about to make a sandwich, okay?
I need to not mess up on pit road. That's what's going to lose me this race.
Amber,
I can beat him on track.
Pace car has been extinguished, so we're on the one to go. The next time by, we'll be back in action at speed. Brian McCann will lead them down. Zach Millett second. Sisler, Mefford, Baxter top 5. Then Matt Opliger 6th. 7th, Vincent Short. Drew Blaze 8th. 9th, Shane Haas. And Jesse Sperling rounding out the top 10.
Brandon's back up here. Oh, that's right, top 4.
All right, man. The pace car is in. Green, green, green.
Field doubled up. Pace car lights off. They're through turn 4 as the pace car hits pit road.
Halfway to the finish.
Green flag back in the air. We're underway once again here, just past halfway from Homestead Miami Speedway. McCann leads them into turns 3 and 4. Millett runs in the second spot. Matt Sisler looking hungry in the third position, still behind Zach Millett as they work on a turn number 4, but a half car length, maybe a full car length back to number 93.
I think I'm leaning on the right front a little too much.
Baxter running 5th and 6th.
Turn 3 and 4. Right here, I think I'm pretty good.
Blades in behind these two running in the 7th.
If you can get wide open where I just did there, you're good.
And again, Jesse Sperling in the number 62, just ahead of Michael Tucker. A little bit of a moment on corner exit there. Tucker gets closer, now dumps to
The turn was a little bit better, but it's slower, so it might have been overdriving.
for the spot. It's a long.
I'm still pulling away from him, so
3 and 4. He's got 2 more.
I'll back it down some.
It's Short and Blaze.
We go, Fahey.
Almost happened again.
Fahey running back in the 14th position, even though he was backwards in the fence off turn 2 not too long ago. He still remains in the top 15 and on the lead lap. Meanwhile, Drew Prail having a moment off of turn number 4 as well. A connection issue and a handling problem all at the same time. Prail hangs on to it. Prail back in 16th. 1 lap down. First car 1 lap down. If we were to get the caution, he would receive the lucky dog as long as he wasn't the caution. Fahey having a moment out of turn 2 again. Real loose opens the door for 2 more cars to go on by. Rail's really loose. He's got to be careful out there. Lap 66 up on the board here. We're going to go S2R17 side by side. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marcos Garza when we were doing radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to
Matt got around Zach.
describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous.
Matt has entered the chat.
Concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is. And
Brandon did too. What happened to Zach?
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
I'm blind right now. I ain't got Steve on the broadcast telling me what's going on. Did he pit? Surely. I'll see if I can sneak a glance over to see if he pitted. Surely not.
Hey, Jesse, Joe said
There's
he's
no
looking
way he
for
makes
chicken
it.
for later.
He must have messed up on track.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out. Line up single file. Pit road is closed. Catch the
Zach
A
dropped
car.
out. Does his internet connection go out? Oh man, that sucks. He dropped out last lap. He's no longer on the track.
That was all me. I'm really sorry, 34. Really sorry.
Man, no worries.
Damn, he's still out too. Yep, there it is. Oh man, I bet he's mad.
Pit road is now open.
Championship night and his internet dies. Oh, that sucks. Hopefully we can have some green flag runs here longer than whatever that just was. I need the green flag laps. I got them on the long run.
Car 80. Got the lucky dog. Let him by on the
I got
outside.
to pass none of the yellow face.
Let the 80 car by.
Probably not
He had
gonna
the
matter,
position
but-
when the yellow flag came out.
Well, he's only like a lap or two down. Of course, he's probably towing, so he's going to be like something like 2 or 3 laps down. It's going to be a tough comeback. Yeah, he's already 3 laps down, so. Oh man, that sucks. Could happen to any of us, though.
Back at Homestead, Miami Speedway, and major championship implications here. Of course, we're under the caution, and no, the caution is not for one of our championship 4, but prior to that yellow, Zach Millet
man, I'm so
seemingly
sorry.
dropping out of the session. I don't know if he had a connection problem
Right.
or what the situation was. He's been pretty clean with that issue all
Thanks,
season
man. I
long, but
appreciate
here it comes down to the championship race.
Jesse, I got a
Zach
black
Millet
for
may be
passing
out
the
of this
yellow. I
one.
don't know if I
Indeed,
passed,
he
but-
is. So now it's our championship 3 that remain. Brian McCann, Brandon
Thank you.
Mefford, and Matt Sisler, and they continue to run 1 through 3. You saw the caution, or the reason for the caution during the side-by-side. We'll go back and take yet another quick look at it. Ken Couch was involved in this one. You see he's parked in pit lane. We'll get another look. Gets into the 34 of Wysocki right in the middle of the corner.
Turned him.
Both drivers head up the racetrack, but then they slide back down. Joe Tucker at full throttle comes in and just gets the left front of Ken Couch. Jesse Redding's going to come and pile into this as well. But that is the reason for our 3rd caution of the night.
Zach's back out with 4 laps down.
Zach Millett has rejoined the race. Just going to make the assumption he had a problem with the connection. We're going to try and pull him up here real quick and get a word to find out exactly what caused the Zach and Steve with HBR TV. You got a copy of that
already.
Hey, Steve.
So, obviously, you're back in 16th now, not on the lead lap. I'm assuming you had a connection-related issue. Walk us through what happened.
I don't know, man. It was PC related. I know it said upload packet lost up top, I guess, but no, my PC just completely shut right down. Everything shut off right at once, and I'm hoping it doesn't do it again. I was really hoping it didn't like shut off and ruin anybody else's race in front of me. So it looks like everybody else is fine.
Well, you got a tall order ahead of you. The miracles do happen. We'll see what happens the rest of the way, but wish you the best of luck, man. Sorry to have that happen.
Thanks, man.
Zach Millett, back in the 16th spot, one of our championship
Computer related. Ouch.
I know we don't have random mechanical failures in the race cars in iRacing yet, but we're still dealing with hardware per se, whether it's PC or your wheel and your pedals and things like that. But adding a little bit of realism with a PC-related failure for Zach Millett.
The pace car is in.
Very likely costing him a championship opportunity.
Green, green, green.
Car pulls in. We wait for Marty to wave the green to get us back underway once again. It'll be lap 74 when they cross the stripe. Green flag back in the air. We're underway.
How'd I get rubber on my windshield? Ain't nobody in front of me. Must be a bug.
And back to start finish. 75 laps up on the board. Brandon Mefford second. Matt Sisler runs in the third. Fourth is Baxter. Fifth, Hopliger. Field working out of turn number 4. They'll see 45 laps remaining here from Homestead Miami Speedway. McCann comfortably out in front. Only a couple of tenths plus back to Brandon Mefford. But again, certainly very comfortable out in front. Clean air certainly helping the three quite a bit. More connection issues. Looks like Jesse Redding possibly having a connection problem leaking in now. Still on the racetrack just ahead of Michael Tucker. In between Tucker now and Vincent Short. Tucker lifts just a bit to let 21 kind of work its way up the racetrack. Now Tuck's in behind Jesse Redding. Michael Tucker running in 10th. This is 4th position.
Right here's the danger zone.
In the 9th position.
This little 3-4 lap window here. Cannot get a caution here.
Tucker disposed of Jesse Redding, and now he's working on Shane Haas. I don't know how hard he's going to have to work. He gets to the inside and gets clear. Tucker did make a pit stop recently, lap 72, but it was for fuel only. Next on the list for Tucker is going to be the 62 of Jesse Sperling.
Need to make it about 2 or 3 more laps.
Big wad of cars here. 4th position in contention, 17/the 4, Diebacker. And Sisler to the outside. Sisler was trying to hang on to that 3rd spot, but here comes everybody else.
Ain't sounding good.
Challenging as well as Drew Blaze. They're 3 wide in start finish.
3 wide, oh boy.
Sisler is going to go from 3rd to 6th in just about a lap. Big time loss for the 93. Might have just burned up too much of the time.
I mean, 1 more lap would be all right.
80 laps in. Sisler has only made 1 pit stop thus far, and he did take tires lap 42. So his next opportunity to hit pit lane, I can imagine he's going to put tires on, but how much track position is he going to lose in the meantime? That's going to be the big question. Michael Tucker now breathing down the neck of Sisler. Start finish now. He's to the inside. Sisler now back to P7. Like a light switch. He's running fine there in the top 3, but now quickly falling back through the field.
You got to let that throttle come to you. Turn 2.
Tucker's now closed in to the 16 of Matt Opliger, closed in to that 5th position. Tucker wants to jump into the top 5. I gotta say, Mike Tucker is really starting to get this thing figured out. These race cars, they are a challenge, that's for sure. He's got pace, that's for sure. But throughout a lot of this season, he's shown a lot of speed early on in these races, whether it's in Gen 4 or elsewhere. Tends to fall off and burn the tires off a little sooner than everybody else and free falls through the field. Now we're looking at the opposite end of that spectrum. We're 83 laps in, and Tucker's starting to knife his way through this field. He's up to the 5th spot, looking for 4th here. Drew Blaze now to the outside. Tucker looking low. Blaze way up the racetrack, almost too far, but he's going to have a whale of a run on exit. Might cross over, but no, not close enough. Tucker gets a better exit altogether. Now he's working on Jai Baxter for 3rd. Tucker loose off turn number 2, but still keeps his foot in it.
Sorry, Drew.
Oh no, I was a heat-seeking missile for your right rear. It's all good.
Michael Tucker knifing through the field all the way up.
Where's Matt Sisler at?
Here, lap 85 goes up on the board.
That's what I need to know.
Ryan McCann still your leader, almost a full second back to Brandon Befford.
Yeah, that was bad.
Millet had a front row seat.
Milton, I can't hear you all the way back there.
Sisler is stabilized here in the 7th position. Remember, he started 10th here today. Not a great qualifying effort by any means, mid-pack. We've seen him as high as P3. Now he's fallen back to the 7th position.
Looks like it's about 6. I got to glance at it there for a second.
For a caution to come out here in the next handful of laps, and you bolt that last set of tires on and be good to go to the end.
Okay, I had my fun. Good luck.
Just about to that point where I think everybody's good to go on fuel. If they had to make their final stop right now, barring a green-white checkered finish, I think we'd be good to go.
Brandon slip up there? I'm really waiting for him to pit.
1.6 second advantage over second place. really starting to stretch things out, but here's the answer and here's why. Michael Tucker is closed in to the second place machine of Brandon.
He put it there, didn't he?
Pressure on these two doing battle. All that's going to do is going to allow Brian McCann to continue to run laps clean and in clean air, drive away from the second place battle. Michael Tucker, though, into that second spot. He's finally clear of Brandon Mefford out of turn number 2. Now Mike Tucker into that second spot.
93 is pitting.
And Mike's just here to try and win a race. He's not in contention for a title here tonight. McCann, Mefford, Sisler, and Millett came into tonight as your eligible championship contenders. Mefford's going to pull into pit lane, though, and spin into pit road.
Oh, he spun.
Lucky to not hit the big barrels at the end of pit road that protect the wall.
Has taken the lead. 5, 2, 1.
Certainly going to cost him some time and track position, but Mefford on pit lane for his final stop for the race. Mefford from the second spot comes to the attention of his crew. Sunoco Racing Fuel going in, right side tires in the air, so fresh Goodyear Eagles going on. Crew around to the left. Is it a 2-tire stop? No, audible for 4. A 4-tire change and Sunoco Race Fuel. Brandon Mefford is down and away. 14.85 second. A great stop, but a terrible entry might have cost him an opportunity at a championship here tonight. Brandon Mefford back in action here. About 30-plus laps remain. We call this season official. Mefford rejoins in the 12th position. Meanwhile, Michael Tucker has taken over the race lead as Brian McCann has hit pit road. He's got right sides going on. Another 4-tire change in fuel now for Brian McCann. Drops the jack. 14.65 is the time for the 3. 30 laps to go. Michael Tucker, your race leader. Only a handful of drivers currently on the lead lap. 5 to be specific. That's Tucker, Baxter, Jesse Sperling, Jesse Redding, and Shane Haas. First car 1 lap down. Championship contender Brian McCann. Now this may cycle through. These 5 drivers still may need to make a stop. Michael Tucker, though, now it's going to be close. Tucker came down and pit at lap 72, and it was for fuel only.
Outside.
He's going to have to stop. Even if you're good at saving fuel, you're going to go maybe 40 laps. That would leave him about 8 laps shy. Nonetheless, Mike Tucker and family and friends certainly happy to see the 39 leading this field late in the race in that final run to the finish.
I just tire safe from here, and I think the race is mine.
Guy in first really wants to win a race. Been covering Michael a lot this season, not just here in Noble, but other series.
I raced to get around the leader there to get back on the lead lap in case a caution comes out.
Opportunity. He's got a race win coming.
Here, I just take it easy.
It will happen. The kid's got talent. And it's raw talent. It really is. You talk to guys that are trying to find a driver for their race teams, and they're always looking for that guy that they need to slow down. It's much easier to pull on the reins than it is to crack the whip. Speeding the guy up, that's a challenge. Slowing him down, that's a little bit easier to do. And that's the case with Michael Tucker. You got to try and slow him down a bit. Take care of his stuff, not just run wide A open the whole race. Someone's teaching him. He's starting to learn, that's for sure. Tucker's still out in front, coming to lap 95. Again, he's still going to need to pit here pretty soon. But if the caution comes out, I don't know if Tucker's got tires over the wall still, but if the caution comes out, that's going to leave. Right now, we've only got 5 cars on the lead lap. Brian McCann getting one of those laps back the old-fashioned way, getting clear of Michael Tucker. So he'd get a wave around per se, and then Matt Opliger would be the lucky dog. He runs in 6th position, first car 1 lap down. So if Tucker could make his pit stop during a caution at final stop, it would really give him some great track position to close this thing out. And if, keyword is if, Tucker has made 5 stops here, so I don't know if he's got tires left, but if he does,
if anybody's still got a set of tires, they're the winner. But the guys I'm racing, I don't think have a set of tires. So.
If it came out right now, If he has,
I only got to beat 2 people.
He'd have the freshest set out of anybody on the lead lap, and he wouldn't need to take care of them because we're in that range where it's just time to go.
I don't know what happened to Matt Sizzler, but I know Brandon Mafford's on the same strategy in a worse position than I am.
I think Michael's just going to
be good there
front here and hope that Caution happens to come out.
Matt Scissors in 9th, pitted lap 90.
He's going to have to pit under green for fuel to get to the end. Brandon Befford.
So he's on better tires than I am.
That back as well. So now 2 championship 4 contenders back on the lead lap here.
So that might be a problem.
24 laps to go.
No, I pitted lap 90. Never mind, we're on equal.
Championship contender. He runs in the 9th position. 1 lap.
So I should have this. I'll just save here. Ain't no reason to push.
He's running in 15th. Billet would need 4 more cautions, at least, to get his lap back. Championship opportunity slipping away here.
I'm still pulling away from him. I'm saving, still pulling. I don't know how I get beat here. I don't think I can.
His lap back.
Other than if I make a mistake. But I'm driving easy.
The car in front is pitting.
Tucker with the right turn racing in Hendrick Motorsports. Oh, he's out of fuel. He's shaking the rear of the race car down the straightaway. I think Mike's out of fuel here.
The car behind is pitting.
Got to get to the bottom. Nope, stays out. I don't know if that was the wisest decision. If he was shaking the rear of that race car because he's trying to get some more fuel to the right rear of that fuel cell, could be a problem. Let's right on board. Driver's eye camera with Michael Tucker as he works down the back straightaway here once again.
All right, you're back in 3rd.
Not out of fuel, I guess. He's still running.
The leader just
Still
did up
shaking the car.
34.5.
Laps to go. He's got 10 seconds on second place Jesse Sperling, but Sperling's going to have to pit as well. Sperling should be down pit road any moment.
Brandon got back up to 2nd.
Jesse's last stop was at lap 57. Matt Sisler gets clear. He's back on the lead lap. Tucker's just got to be waiting for the race car to cough a little bit. Once it does, I think he's going to have to come right down, take fuel right away. Problem is, if it coughs just past pit entry, he's in trouble. He won't be able to make it all the way around.
You're gaining on the car in front. The gap is 9.6 seconds.
$18 laps to go.
The car in front.
I think Mike's going to have to pit in probably with about 7 or 8 laps to go.
All right, man. You're back in 2nd. The car behind is pitting.
Sperling should be down pit road pretty soon as well, but if you look at the running order, Brian McMahon, though he's 21 seconds back, he's good to go to the end. So is Brandon Befford, so is Matt Opliger, Drew Blaze, Matt Sisler, Vincent Short. All those guys are good to go to the finish. Once Tucker and Sperling come down, and Sperling's down pit road right now, those guys will cycle back to the front. Brian McCann should be in a good position here to take this win and a championship. McCann now jumps into the 2nd spot with Sperling hitting pit road. Sperling into the pit box. Right side tire change. Does he go rights only with 16 to go?
Rights only? No.
He's not. There it is. Right sides only. What? Drops the jack down and away. 10.7 seconds. The pit stop.
He's going to have a handful of drive.
Tucker still leads this race. Nice long run out in front, unchallenged. He still has 19 plus seconds on Brian McCann. For reference, the last lap was a 34.74. McCann ran a 33.40.
Tucker ain't got fuel though.
Pressure tires certainly for the 3. He's closing in, and Tucker real out of shape off turn number 4. Coming to 15 laps to go. Again, don't get too excited, folks. He does still have to pit. His only saving grace would be a caution before he runs out of fuel.
Man, if he's got a set of tires though.
Very good position.
But I ain't racing him, so.
First to say, he's pretty much got a win in the bag if the caution comes out before he has to pit. That's if he's got tires. And I don't know if he does or not. It's one thing that the system just does not tell us.
The leader just did a 34.7.
Outlifting and coasting into turn 1. We're right on board again.
Yeah, Matt Cesar got up to 6, so he took tires. So as far as championship goes, I'm looking pretty good. Tucker might win this race. Could win this race, let me put it that way.
Increase the likelihood he's available for a pit stop under yellow.
Go, Lojo.
Got his hands full on corner exit. Now closing in, as is the 17/4 of Jive Axer. Tucker way up the racetrack. He's going to let these guys go on by. Well, almost runs him over. Speed differential between the two is pretty significant right now. And again, Tucker knowing that he's in a situation he's got to save fuel. And we're seeing that too. When he lets the clutch back out and gets back on the power, that's when you see the race car, the rear end steps out just a bit. Becomes a bit of a handling challenge for the 39 of Mike Tucker. That's what you got to do to take care of the fuel load on these things. And there it is. It kicks it back in and it steps out. He's got to chase it up the racetrack. Now McCann really closing in with those newer tires.
We have 10 to go this time by. You're gaining on the car in front. The gap is 10 seconds.
Gaining a second and a half.
Tucker once again staying out on the racetrack, coming to 10 laps to go.
If he is somehow going to save it to the end, I still might catch him here.
Stop at lap 72. If you don't save fuel, you can go about 37, maybe 38 laps. He's there now.
That was 1.6.
If he managed to save enough to get all the way to the end of this race, I congratulate him. That's just incredible. He still stays out off turn number 4.
The leader is
Tucker trying to pull a little bit of a draft off the 80 of
Nope, got to go in.
It's caused a bit. Still really needs that caution to fall one way or another.
All right, you're back in first. The car behind is pitting. Outside.
Tucker really loose off of turn number 2 yet again.
I didn't think he could make it. That's a long distance.
There he comes to pit lane. Michael Tucker from.
I started using tire to run him down. Pulled like a second and a half on Brandon, so I think I'm pretty good here, unless Brandon's like big time saving, hoping for a caution. My tires are still good.
This will be our answer if he had tires left.
Tires are golden.
No, fuel only for Mike Tucker. Drops the jack down and away. He's going to get back in the action with his opportunity gone out the window for a race win here at Homestead. Brian McCann out in front over Brandon Mefford, 8.2 seconds ahead of the 83. It's going to be 7 laps to go when he gets back to start finish. Just keep everybody apprised of what's going on post-race. We may have a slight delay coming back for our post-race interviews. Just need to double-check with race officials to make sure we know who the champion is, so on and so forth. Pretty certain it's just going to come down to who finishes ahead of the other 3 championship contenders right now. Brian McCann out in front with less than 7 laps to go, and then Brandon Mefford, another championship Ford driver, he runs 2nd. Matt Sisler runs 5th. Zach Millett, after a connection issue, runs in the 15th position, 3 laps down.
I forgot to readjust my brake bias. It don't matter though.
And continues to put a little bit more distance on 2nd place. Recapping our top 5, it's McCann, Mefford, now Drew Blaze in 3rd. Matt Opliger is 4th. Matt Sisler running in 5th. Vincent Short, a strong run in 6th. Mike Tucker, after his pit stop, runs in the 7th position. Maybe some more positions to be gained here before this is over. Jesse Sperling runs 8th, Drew Prale is 9th, and Mike Fahey in the 10th position. Last car on the lead lap is the 23 of Shane Haas. He runs 11th.
Two more. Come on, internet. Come on, computer.
Losing connection just a moment there as the race.
We got a lot of people dropping out of this race on connection issues. I've got lucky so far.
Two laps to go.
Three laps to go for Brian McCann.
Get the record book. I messed it up. Get the record book out. We're about ready to make an entry.
Very smooth through the corners. You see the hands of Brian barely moving on the wheel. 2 laps to go. Brandon Mefford back in 2nd. No
half a lap
to be considered right now.
Back-to-back champion.
He's a ways back, maybe half a straightaway in 3rd. And Opliger running in the 4th spot of Matt Sisler. Sisler back a few seconds. Meanwhile, Tucker has lost, I think, 1 pin.
Whee!
Behind Jesse Sperling. White flag in the air, final lap for Brian McCann.
Season 2 champ.
Nice job there, Brian.
Brian McCann started in the 2nd row, the 3rd position.
Thanks, good race.
Season long. Looking to make it 2 championships in a row in the Global Racing Series. Brian McCann through 3 and 4 for the final time here at Homestead Miami Speedway. There he is out of turn 4, clean and green to the finish. Checkered flag in the air. Brian McCann wins the race. Brandon Mefford finishes in the 2nd spot. And Opliger is going to get the 3rd position from Drew Blaze late. Brian McCann, your race winner and likely champion.
We got to blow it up so we don't have to go through tech. There we go. No tech. I can't think of anything they would get me on in that race. I was pretty clean, didn't butt nobody, didn't wreck nobody. Almost got a speeding penalty. Luckily I didn't. That would have been the end of the race. Internet stayed in. Unfortunately for Zach, it dropped out.
Burning it down Kevin Harvick style here on the front stretch at Homestead. And just like that, the engine expires. So that's it.
Still had 75 on the front.
Break out of the way.
I think the first time I came in, it was 55.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I met Marcos Garza.
So we were saving big.
Radiothons for St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We needed sponsors to help us raise money, and he's always the first one to jump in. I would describe Marcos and his team as upstanding, someone you can trust, and he is just a genuine guy.
Marcos has been very generous. He has a genuine concern for people. You need somebody that cares about you. And that's what Marcos is. And that's pretty much what this firm is.
The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
So that was Mefford, Matt, and Millett rounding out the championship 4. No, wait. Yeah, I said that right. Mefford Sizzler. I just said Matt's first name instead of last name. Let's I'm curious if Zach started saving right off a go. I don't think he did. Oh, he was. This is lap 2. How did he not? Buddy. Hey man, thanks. Good race.
Thanks.
You had, I thought I heard the broadcast say you had some trouble getting in the pit.
I was like, I'm going to undercut Brian here, try to get a second back on him, and I turned myself.
Probably going to get tossed out because they want to talk to the top 3. Just wanted to say good job, you guys.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, man, good job. I mean, thank you.
I didn't.
I don't know why I said good job.
I did nothing, but I got 3rd. I'll take it. So I'll move, see what they want.
I meant to say good race, but I wasn't thinking.
Yeah, my dag had my brakes turned down and I spun.
Well, they just pulled him up. You disappeared. Now you're back.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Said you had your brakes turned down?
I did, and then I slid sideways trying to get on pit road, trying to get a little extra. I didn't hit nothing, so I did turn itself right back straight, but obviously that was a couple seconds I lost there.
Yeah, it's interesting. It looked like he was saving correctly.
Then I was sitting back there saving, hoping.
And new champion Brian McCann. Brian, it's Steve with HBR TV. You got us?
Hey, I do.
Brian, congratulations, man, on the race win and another championship here in the No Bull Racing Series. How does it feel?
Good, man. A little worried after that qualifying run. Well, it was real close. We was within hundredths of a second there. So starting 3rd, strong competition tonight. So luckily it worked out in my favor. And man, I hate that for Zach losing his internet connection, and Brandon unfortunately spun in the pits. But yeah, good race overall.
Don't sell yourself short. It was closer than you even think in qualifying. I think the top 3 drivers were all separated by 8 1,000ths. Top two were 1,000. So you guys were very quick and very tight in qualifying. It's kind of the same thing that we saw during the race. The 4 of you at one point all running in a row, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Of course, Zach having his issues, but you showed that you had the ability to reel him in and pass him on the racetrack. You did that before the end of stage 1. You eventually won the stage. Zach wasn't able to reel you back in and take that position away at the start of stage number 2, so you defended it well. I wouldn't say you lucked into this by any means, man. A strong run here. Homestead seems like a place that you enjoy. Is that a good observation?
Yeah, got a lot of practice laps in here. Not in this car for this race, but there was another race where I turned thousands of laps in a whole different league season. So I know the track very well. So when I saw it on the schedule for this one, I was like, yes.
Well, Brian, congratulations again. An awesome run here at Homestead Miami Speedway. I would ask you about next week, but unfortunately there really isn't a next week. So all we can do is wish you the best of luck continuing on in the IROC Challenge Series, which in case anybody's interested, that race is tomorrow night here at HBR TV as well. So Brian, again, congratulations. Who do you want to thank for the season and help you get to this point in the eventual championship?
Yeah, man, shout out to my family, you for doing the broadcast, the league admins, everybody behind the scenes who puts this show on. And, thank you for allowing us to come out here and having a great time. The drivers who show up and strong competition. I want to go back to that because that pass on Zach, we were fuel saving. And so me and him never really got to race. I think Brandon was in the same boat. So we all kind of got spread out by just whatever happened to us through that race. We never really got to really run wide open. So huge shout out, strong competition this season, and our sponsors, for helping us out. Thank you.
All right, Brian, again, congratulations. An awesome run here tonight, a great season, and a championship to boot, man. Hopefully we see you at the next one.
Thank you. Have a good one. I meant to say Matt, but I couldn't remember. Sizzler. I remember it now, but I didn't ever get really around him much, so it was mostly me, Brandon, and Millet, and our sponsors, for helping us out. Thank you.
All right, Brian. Again, congratulations! An awesome run here tonight. A great.
I don't know who this person in
Discord
Discord
championship to boot, man. Hopefully, we see you at the next one.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Brian McCann, your race winner and new champion here.
We'll see what Brandon.
New, but it's the second one in a row.
See what Brandon said.
Well done. Next, we're going to pull Brandon Mefford, also coming out of the IROC Challenge Series. He finishes second in the race and second in the points. Pull him up in the HBR TV booth. Brandon, Steve with HBR TV. You got us?
Yeah, I got you.
Brandon, congratulations, man. Again, it's second place finish. Well, those are good, but everybody wants to win these days. But you had a strong season, a strong run here tonight. Did you have anything for Brian McCann if we had a possible late race restart?
Yeah, I don't think that we were going to pass each other. Brian was really good up off the corner, so that's where you're going to make your passes unless you could have taken his line off away from him. But I don't think I could have done anything with him, honestly.
Still a strong season and a great finish. The IROC boys finish 1 and 2 in the point standings here in the Noble Racing Series once again. Tomorrow night we run the IROC Challenge Series at the Charlotte Roval, taking the late model stocks on the road course. We're going to see you run those tomorrow night?
Yeah, unfortunately, Steve. I'm
unfortunately
a road racer, and I would care less if we went there. So I'm going to go give it a shot. I'm sure I'll find my groove there, and hopefully get a top 5 out of it.
Before we get you out of here and on to next season, Brandon, walk us through that late pit stop. You got the car sideways, locked up the rear brakes. It looked like on pit entry. Was there something that surprised you, or just the car came around on you?
If I'm telling myself I didn't practice pit road good enough, and was trying to get a little extra there, trying to get some time back on Brian. I was hoping that he wasn't paying attention to me pitting. I figured he was watching the broadcast and you were going to call it out. And then I just got the brakes locked up on the rear side, slid sideways, and had to let off of it to get it turned back around, and lost a couple more seconds to Brian. So my strategy didn't work. So when I came back out, my whole plan was to save tires and hope for a green-white checker or something.
So he was saving.
Maybe go give a run at him, and that didn't happen. So he was able to pull away and win the championship.
Well, it just didn't work out the way you had planned. Still, again, congratulations. Great season, Brandon. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, Steve, thanks for hopping on here last minute. I know, we want a bunch of cars in here to put this broadcast on, but you've done a great job all season. So shout out to you. Happy to be up here and talk to you.
Thank you, Doug. It's been great racing with you, and
Brian or
thank you for hanging around sometimes during some of these streams.
Thanks to everybody over at Noble to put this thing on. It's great competition out here this year. Had a blast in these cars. They're tough. They're hard to drive.
He is right. These cars are tough.
So proud of everybody that stuck this out, and thanks to those guys and all the drivers. Thanks to all the sponsors out there that helped put this on as well. Then my family, and then all my teammates over at Charity Motorsports. I got to thank them as well.
All right, Brandon. Again, congratulations. Thanks for talking to us, and good luck in future endeavors. Hopefully we see you again soon.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Brandon Mefford, your second place finisher here at Homestead Miami Speedway. Next, we're going to talk to third place Matt Opliger. And, well, he's probably not going to want to talk about it, but he even
thank you, Brandon.
To the fact that
good racing.
Final lap coming into turn 3, he pulled the old Ross Chastain and got the third spot from Drew Blaze. We're going to go back and look at it here, whether he wants me to or not. We're going to do that. We're going to go full speed here just to watch it from his perspective as they run down the back straightaway.
What are we watching?
Never lifts, puts it into the wall.
Oh, he did.
Carries that momentum around Drew Blaze through turns 3 and 4 and just gets clear before they get to start finish and takes the top spot.
He did it.
I don't think it's written in the No Bowl rule book at all, but I can promise you next year it probably will be. Matt Opliger at Steve at HBR TV. You got us?
I didn't think that was possible still.
Yes.
Matt,
he did it. He rode the wall for the win.
Finish here at Homestead.
For the
I
third
know you mentioned
position.
post-race that you weren't proud of it, but sometimes you do what you got to do to get to finish.
Thanks, man.
That you need to finish. Walk us through your race, and then what was the mindset there on that last lap that made you decide to jump up there and run the old Ross Chastain in 3 and 4?
Yeah, so I just really struggled with pace. I mean, couldn't really pass. Very hard to pass on the bottom, and I was not good at running the top till like the late run, and that's when I decided to go into turn 3. I had nothing to lose.
Let's go back and watch that.
I just went in there and didn't lift
16.
at all. After the race, I was immediately I regretted it a lot. So,
well, don't feel too bad about it. Like I said, some guys think it's terrible. Some guys think it's great. I don't know. As a broadcaster, I thought it was pretty neat to see, but I don't know.
So he was that far behind him.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. Usually it doesn't work at these places, but it did for you tonight. You still come home.
He was this far behind him and just stuck it in the wall.
We're jumping into this series late.
And it worked.
Bump up some cars.
I thought they disabled that.
Have you here? You had some pace.
Or made it to where it wasn't worth it, but man, he pulled it off.
Look forward to having you back the next season if you're interested.
Yeah, thank you. It was really fun. I mean, Kansas, Phoenix.
Let's see what it looked like from Drew's perspective.
Well, man, again, thanks for talking to us. Who do you want to shout out to before we let you get out of here?
Maybe just Matt Sisler. I mean, he's the one that really got me into like this league.
Drew's like, what just happened?
Just taught me everything about this. Just helped me out.
All right,
man, that's crazy.
Congratulations again on a praise.
Imagine that. Imagine that happened if me, Mefford, and
Opliger,
the other two, Sizzler and
of the number 16
Millet was up there, and one of us did that.
If it's in
that would have been amazing.
Book, okay, fine, but I don't think it is in the rule book. Ever added that. So I think you got away with that one, but maybe not next year. We'll see what happens.
It was put into one of the rule books. I don't know, IROC or
we talked to our top
one of those
3,
other
Brian
leagues I'm
McCann,
in, but I don't think it was a no bowl.
And hope I'm saying it right. Drew Blaze was.
All right, man. Thanks for everybody for sticking around. And
was Matt Sisler. Vincent Short was P6.
We'll see if this no bowl season kicks back off sometimes, and maybe we can do it again.
10th. Last car on the league.
Oh, we would have 100% wrecked. But it would have been a hell of a finish.
Ty Baxter was 13th. Doug Wysocki 14th. Zach Millett 15th.
I don't think I would have tried it because I would have assumed that it wouldn't work.
Ken Couch was 16th. Joe Tucker 17th. Alfie Charon out of this one early. He finishes in the 18th
Anyway, I'm out
position.
later.
Was Crystal Villano.